Hi, I'm Dan. I'm going to walk through my Jamuary setup. I'm using a dynamic mic for the first time because the what are they called? Condenser mic was picking up all my stomach rumbles and everything last time. So anyway, so for hardware, I'm using a Keylab. Everything which I'll play is going to be on this. I've got some kind of MIDI stuff set up, which I'll talk through. I have got a push. It's a push one, and I'm not really going to play it. It's a glorified clip launcher in this environment. Everything's running through my laptop. I use a template. Now, the whole plan of this is that I'm working towards playing live. I've been talking about it for way too long, quite a few years now, but 2024 is the year where I'm going to play live. And so the Jamuary stuff is going to help me build up my set. So I do work to a template which has 8 tracks that I can control live, 8 scenes, but I usually only use a maximum of 7 so that I've got one scene as the kind of stop scene. And within these tracks, the first one is drums, which is kind of mapped to my pad. So I've got a kick and snare. I can do some stuff with fills and things if I want to. I hate programming MIDI drums. My favorite MIDI drum pattern is that. So I will have some kind of pre-programmed MIDI clips which I can kind of dive into if I fancy doing something a little bit different. Then the next track is the miscellaneous one. This is whatever I fancy putting in there at the time. It sounds like I've got a sub in there at the moment. Then I've got my mid basses, and I use the Korg Poly 6 quite a lot. I like that synth wavy sort of sound that it has. And this is MIDI mapped to this slider, which is a cutoff filter. And I always try and keep the sliders and knobs and everything all in the same place so that I know where to reach when I want to do something in particular. Let me just press all these buttons because these are also MIDI mapped as well. The next track is my leads, which isn't that, which is this. And all of these tracks will have their own volume control, and the volume control is set so that maximum is 0. So I set whatever I want my maximum to be using a utility plugin, and then that means when I'm playing live, I can't kind of blast anyone's eardrums or cause any damage. Then I've got a pluck which will have an ARP. Where possible, I try and use Ableton stock plugins for CPU usage, but also because they're bloody amazing. And I've got too sidetracked by going into third-party plugins all the time. So, rather than always reaching for my third-party VSTs, I've started using Wavetable, Drift, and some of those things. But I haven't in this instance. I've got an instance of Omnisphere running, but there is an echo, dotted eight, ducker going on in there. So I'll just play that a little bit, going through an arpeggiator. Then I've got generic pad sound. Whatever key I'm going to be in, I will have a drone note generally playing. And then the last one, Vox samples. So I try, where possible, because I'm trying to build a live set and most people haven't got a clue what I'm playing, I try and use kind of acapellas that I've extracted from other songs, and I can't sing, so I use those to create interest. I take little clips and loop those around. All become clear. So if I just demonstrate this a little bit, I'll just use a MIDI clip which is already in there. What key shall I do something? Bass loopy type thing, and then I'll add to it, so I could add a lead onto it. generally what I try and do is kind of add layers as we go through. So in this I've come up with something for the pluck. You can hear the LFO giving a kind of a side chaining effect there. And then this will be the drone note if I have one. Everything's kind of going. Now everything's going. Then I can kind of bring things I was already playing that. I had the wrong track selected. And this is where I can bring in a different drum. And then the knobs along the top is, like I said, down on the floor I've got a pedal which is linked to all of the global effects, so that if I want to override them at any point I can. I'll show you. So there, and then that gives me a second or two There you go. So each day I'm going to have a palette of different sounds and instruments, different idea, and then bosh out a track a day for every day through January. Famous last words, but I'm definitely going to really, really try. Okay, see you on the other side in 2024.